Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be talking about this season, chapter 5 season 3. I wanted to upload this video because this season is ending, I'm pretty sure in 2 days, because I'm filming this on August 14th, and like season's end will be on August 16th. So I just want to tell you about this season, Chapter 5, Season 3. And I want to tell you, in my opinion, why this is the worst season of Fortnite history. Now, let me explain. So, Chapter 5, Season 3 is really bad because everything is overpowered. For example, Nitro Splashes, you can just walk into someone's box and you can kill bosses in like a millisecond. And also the cars, like the boss cars, even normal cars, are really overpowered. For example, back in Season X, the mechs had missiles. Legit, the Megalodon's boss car is so overpowered. Even the ones with turrets are really overpowered. They nerfed it so much, but I still think it's overpowered. Now you can counter it with the EMPs, but barely anyone uses the EMPs. A better choice instead of the EMPs. I get the EMPs are good, but still, there's another choice that they could have used. For example, the Anvil rocket launcher back in Chapter 3, Season 2 was much better than the EMPs because the Anvil rocket launcher, you could legit, it's like you tracking a vehicle. Like you zoom into a vehicle, you wait like 3 seconds, and then it will shoot a missile and it will track on that vehicle, which would have been really overpowered against the vehicles, which probably would have been a better choice because you can see the cars on your minimap and your map. And the EMPs, don't get me wrong, it's good, but still, the Anvil rocket launcher would have been much better, but not much better. Still, the EMPs are really overpowered. Not overpowered, but they're overpowered against the cars, you know? And now, most people think the worst season of Fortnite history is Chapter 2, Season 6, because the meta of the season wasn't really good. The choice of weapons wasn't good. They removed snipers for bows. But let me tell you why this is a worse season than Chapter 2, Season 6. For example, this season, name one thing that's good and not really overpowered. I couldn't really name one good thing that's not overpowered. And really, I would say Slurve Cactus because back in Chapter 4, Season 3, which is a really bad season, they had these slurp plants that would like regenerate every 15 seconds. And this season, they have Slurve Cactus. But still, both of these things were really overpowered because in competitive, they actually had to remove the regen of Slurve Cactus. So whenever you use them, it would just never come back. So yeah, and the Toho cannon is actually quite good, but still 150 damage, I'm pretty for sure from like max 70 meters is still very overpowered. Like I would have probably said that, but when I thought about it, 150 damage is overpowered in build and in zero build. Because in build, even if you're a max HP, if someone shot you with that, you would be on 50. And what was it? On zero build, if someone shot you with that, you would be 100 HP. And that's probably one of like really bad damage on the Toho cannon. It should have been probably 75, 100, but this is from 70 meters max or 50 meters max, so it's really OP. For example, if you're on high ground and your opponent doesn't know and if he thinks you're somewhere else, you can just shoot him if he doesn't have cover. You know what I mean? And the Magneto Power is probably more overpowered than cars. I know the Magneto Power is a counter to the cars, but 95, and now they buffed it a couple of days ago. Now sometimes it does 100 for some reason. Like for Epic Games, what is happening with these items? And don't get me wrong, the collabs season was quite good, but I don't think it fits. For example, the Pirates of the Caribbean, don't get me wrong, it's really great, but why this season? Like, I feel like it doesn't fit because if you see on the map, I'll show you now, the all of the season is just sand, basically. Like half of the map is just sand. I know in the middle there's water, but still, like, I feel like it doesn't fit at all. And you might say Chapter 2 Season 6 had worse meta than this season. Well, let me give you on these weapons that they have right now. For example, the Gatekeeper shotgun, even if you don't have the drum mag, it's overpowered. For example, the combat shotgun, you would say it's more overpowered, but the Gatekeeper shotgun, you're mostly gonna use a shotgun if you're close range. So yeah, combat shotguns are really only good in zero build. In my opinion, the Gatekeeper, if they keep it next season, it needs to be nerfed. Let me tell you why. Because this shotgun is really overpowered. For example, the mythic version, it does 102 damage. I don't know how much the legendary is, but the mythic and the legendary are basically the same, which let me tell you why it is. Because if you have a legendary with drum mag, it's gonna be the same as the mythic one. Because like 5 shots instead of free. For example, if he had free shots, 306. And really, if the normal legendary gatekeeper only did 90, it would have probably went over that. So yeah. And you might say Chapter 2 Season 6 is worse because of the meta. And also, Chapter 2 Season 6 had the Primal Shotgun, which is really overpowered. But they really, like, they had a mythic version, and I'm pretty sure they removed the mythic version and added, what was it called? Yeah, the Spider Assassin Recycler, which was kind of weird, to be honest. And the jump boots you might think is actually worse. But I mean, don't get me wrong, that the jump boosts were really trash. But the thing is, there's 2 good mythic items that came from that season that's like good. For example, Raz's explosive bow was good, and also Spider Assassin's primal AR was good. And this season, don't get me wrong, the mythics are good, but I'm sorry, but I needed to make this video because the boom bolt, like the mythic boom bolt, even not even mythic, even the rare version, even the blue version, is overpowered. And also the mythic combat shotgun, you know the Megalodon boss, if you kill it, it's basically a guaranteed victory royale and battle royale, not like ranked. Because the combat shotgun range, amazing. Megalodon's Nitro Fist, which is so overpowered, and Infinite Nitro, you can just push into people's boxes. And if you pair them at Nitro Fist with the Magneto Power, you're basically unstoppable, which is really overpowered, you know? Like, if people saw this back in Chapter 1 and thought the minigun was overpowered, they would probably never play Chapter 5 Season 3 if they saw the meta that we're in. And also, right now, they added miniguns. You know, back then they had miniguns. But I feel like they buffed the minigun because the cooldown, I feel like it's slower. Like you can use a minigun more without having to cool down, which is actually really OP. So yeah, don't get me wrong. They added the blue version, which only does 19 damage, but I think that's like really OP still, because you could do 100 damage in a matter of like 4 seconds, and with a minigun. Like I feel like they nerfed the damage, but up the cooldown. You know? Oh, my friend is whining at me. Anyway, we need to still talk about this meta. Okay? So, what was I talking about? Yeah, Chapter 2, Season 6. You might think still the Primal Shotgun is really OP, but if you think about it, the Primal Shotgun was only good if you had a spam weapon. And the only good spam weapon that season, like from to spam into people's boxes, is a Primal SMG. It wasn't really overpowered, but it's actually a good SMG. But still, tell me if you agree with me that Chapter 5 Season 3 is the worst season. And tell me if there's in the comments if there's any points that I missed about the season to make it better or worse. So yeah.